what's your favorite brand of toothpaste?
I don't think I've tried.
Hello, and welcome to, what is our name? I know what you mean.
I know what you
Podcast.
mean.
I'm Jake.
I'm Sylvia.
And we have a podcast.
We do.
Is there anything else to say about the podcast?
I don't think so. I mean, if they have any questions about the podcast,
Yeah.
they can let us know.
Let us know on Instagram or through Gmail.
On YouTube.
Or on YouTube soon. TBD on YouTube.
TBD.
But okay.
Yeah.
We can start now, I guess.
Yes.
So
What are we going to talk about?
great question.
Okay, that is, I think, the first thing we need to learn.
So episode 1 is going to be sweating. Is going to be about wedding trends. Because we're getting married tomorrow. Haha, kidding. But anyways, because as you know, on TikTok there's a lot of people that post about their weddings. Millennials are very obsessed with social media.
Yeah.
I need to post about everything, and it's like, we did this at our wedding. We did this uncommon trend. And some of them are interesting, some of them I think are stupid. And so we thought we'd find some and discuss them with whoever might be watching this today. So I found a few articles on the internet. If y'all haven't heard about the internet, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. And I figured we could go through some of the trends that they have and discuss our thoughts and feelings on them. So, first trend, big parties. While many have opted for micro weddings the past few years, big parties are back. Planner Jason Mitchell-Kahn declares, "We spent a while not being able to celebrate, and now that we can, we are going bigger and better than ever."
Okay.
Big wedding. Thoughts?
So, I understand they're coming from like a point of just out of like the pandemic and nobody being able to like be together, celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got married during the pandemic, it was either only you and your spouse and it was like a Zoom thing with your family, or you were able to have like your mom and dad and that's it. But I think it was just because of the pandemic. Like, of course they couldn't do big weddings, but even before the pandemic, I don't think people were doing small weddings.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I haven't been to weddings since I was like 7 years old.
Right.
So I don't know, but I feel like everybody does big weddings now.
Yeah, I feel like they do too. And I mean, it's relative what you define as a big wedding, you know. Are we talking like 100 guests, 200 guests,
right?
500,
Exactly.
You know,
like what
so
is
it's
a
a little
wedding?
ambiguous in that way.
Uh-huh.
By the way, this article is called "The Biggest Wedding Trends to Expect in 2022" from Brides.com. Seems like a reputable source. Brides would know. So I don't have a problem with a big wedding, I guess, but like, I don't know. At a certain point, obviously, you can go too big, and so I get the pandemic, like, we want to party and have all our people there, but also, I know people that have had very large weddings, and I'm just kind of like, no. I don't know, I feel like 50 people for the bride and 50 for the groom, maybe 60-40, depending on who has the bigger family, but like,
I guess.
Yeah,
Well, it really depends because it really depends.
Yeah. To your point about why have big weddings not always been a trend?
Yeah.
The article starts off the part about big weddings by saying, while many have opted for micro weddings in the past few years, I've never heard of a micro wedding.
Yeah, and like the past few years, it's literally the pandemic. Like 2 years ago, that's when the pandemic started. That's already a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, few years. Like, are they talking 3 years, 4, 5 years? You know what I mean?
6. I mean, who knows?
7? Like,
it's a realistic timeline.
Right. So like they could just be talking about
the pandemic. Doing micro weddings because COVID was in the air.
Exactly, and like nobody could do anything.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's very funny that next on their list is intimate weddings.
Nice.
So both big and small,
wedding,
2022, you're going to be going to weddings with 1,000 people and with 5 people. While some may be doing blowout events, others have come to embrace the intimacy of a micro wedding. I actually love this smaller, more intimate wedding, shares planner Annie Lee. What an insightful comment, Annie. Selfishly, for decorating purposes, we can do so much more interesting designs when we're setting 50 places rather than 250. So, small wedding. I don't know if there's much more to say than what we said about big wedding, but.
Well, so yeah, it's
because I also feel like small wedding and micro wedding are two different things. Like small is like 50, micro is like 10. Like just your immediate family, but I don't know.
Well, so that's the thing though. Like I recently had a friend and he got married, and I think his was a micro wedding because it was literally his immediate family and then her immediate family, and then that's it.
Yeah,
like,
it seems pretty micro.
Maybe like 2 friends from the bride, 2 friends from the groom, and then that was it. Like groomsmen, bridesmaids, like 1 each basically. Like just best man, best man, and
maid of honor.
Maid of
That's
honor. I was like, what am I looking for? So it really, because that's the other thing. My friend was actually thinking of eloping. Like he was like, we're just thinking of just getting married and that's it. Like we're just married. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's also like a big thing. Either you go for a micro wedding or you just get married and you don't really celebrate it.
Why even do a wedding?
Right, exactly. But
that's the biggest wedding trend. No wedding at all.
No wedding at all. But I feel like it just plays into also personality because there's people that don't really like to party a lot. There's people that love to party. So I think that's also why there's like these 2 trends, which not really trends to me, but either one thing is a trend or another thing. Those are just like opposite to each other. So it just really depends on like what you want to do. And I feel like now it's also seen less, or like people judge less small weddings because it's like, you know, like we don't want to have a lot of people because you never know like who can get sick or whatever, you know what I mean? So I feel like because nobody's really judging you on how small your wedding is, people that don't really want to have a lot of people are like, oh, you know, like just immediate family because like
it's not about the size of the wedding.
You know what I mean?
It's about how much fun you have while you're there.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, destination weddings. And of course, the article's on about travel restrictions have loosened, vaccines are available, people are traveling. But this trend obviously predates COVID or the year 2022. No, me neither. I had a friend who had a destination wedding to the Dominican Republic, I think it was, and it seemed fun. Like I think she enjoyed it, you know, and that was a fun time for them. But I don't know. I don't want to do that. You were not invited to that? No, I was not invited to that wedding. How close of a friend are we talking? Well, but not very close. But I mean, friends, acquaintances. But so that's my thing, right? Is like if it had been here, it's not. I'm completely understand. I wasn't invited, but it's fine. I'm not. This isn't sour grapes about that. But if it had been here, then maybe some of those lower tier friends can go. But if you don't want those people to go and you'd rather not have the awkwardness of not inviting them, just do a destination wedding. And it's like, oh, you know, you can't afford the travel anyways, so I'm not inviting you. And it wasn't even a conversation as opposed to, oh, I was invited. So anyways, if you have people you don't want to invite, just spend thousands of dollars to go to another country.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my thing. You spend more money, you're forcing all of your guests to spend more money, the ones that do come. No disrespect to people that do it or have the financial means to do it. Like, if you do it,
if you want to
good
do it,
for you, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though we're mostly trash talking all the trends, it doesn't matter what you end up doing at your wedding. It's your wedding. You can do whatever you want, even if you don't want to have a wedding, you want to have the biggest wedding ever. Like,
we're just very cynical people, so we're going to criticize everything.
We don't like anything.
But yeah, disclaimer over the entire episode. Yeah. If you do this and we said we didn't like it, it's okay.
It's okay. You can still invite us to your wedding.
But, right. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like extra effort, and weddings are already a hassle to plan and then to do. Like, yes, it's for you, but you're largely hosting people and
Hosting.
entertaining the whole time. So it just seems like more work.
Yeah.
Now, if you can hire somebody to take care of all that for you,
Yeah.
I'm more open to it. But as far as trends goes, I just feel like I don't want to send an invitation to somebody that also says
You have
you're going to need to spend $2,000 round trip on a plane ticket.
Right.
Make sure you have a passport.
Right. And
But-
also, you have to pay. Like, I'm guessing the guests also have to pay for not only just the
Yeah,
plane
the
ticket,
lodging.
but yeah, exactly. They can. Unless you
Yeah, I
have the
never even
means
thought
to,
of that. Right,
you know.
yeah, just get the entire hotel or a block of
hotel.
rooms for your
Yeah.
guests. That's a good point. I never even
Yeah.
thought of that.
So.
You also would, I had a point and it just went away.
No.
That's gonna bother me. What else would you have to do? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It wasn't something that you would do, but
Oh.
a counterpoint to everything we were just saying is that depending on the country,
Mhm.
the cost of a venue and food and lodging within the country could potentially be cheaper.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
So
that makes
maybe
sense.
I haven't done any research on it. Maybe there are lots of countries that have
That
really
is
nice
cheaper,
wedding
yeah.
destinations, but a relatively cheap cost of living. Like maybe the venue costs money, but like
Compared
the
to if you were
food
going to
and-
do it in your own country,
right,
it could be cheaper.
It could be
to
cheaper
just
than in
fly
the U.S. because
and
wedding
host it
venues
here.
are
Yeah.
crazy expensive.
Well, everything.
Everything's crazy expensive.
Catering, everything.
Oh yeah, everything related to weddings.
Yes.
Sorry, inflation. Was on the brain.
Also that.
Yeah. so-
Everything very expensive.
Okay. Colorful decor. While there are definitely
what?
still white weddings, you might see a lot more hues in 2022. Color and design seems like the outward manifestation of the joy we are all feeling as we start seeing the light at the end of the pandemic tunnel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was this written
What
like
is
in
this?
2020? About
Probably.
2022? But anyways, color schemes. More colorful, more white, and austere.
I don't know, but well, it's weird because again, I haven't been to a wedding in forever,
Right.
so I don't really know. But all the trends I've seen, like on TikTok and stuff,
Mhm.
are not colorful at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know when this article was written, and I don't know if maybe all the
Yeah.
wedding trends are appearing in my TikTok is like just
Right.
targeting to my algorithm because I do. It's not that I don't like colorful weddings, but I feel like I'm more into the traditional, you know,
Okay.
like pastels,
Yeah,
whites,
that's fair.
stuff like that. I feel like it looks neat, it looks classic, it looks cute. I don't know.
Fair.
That's just me.
Um,
But
I'm a man and colorblind, so I don't care. We're gonna skip around because some of these are a little
yeah,
boring.
It's just I have a list.
This one.
of them, so let's
Okay,
go.
I'm getting through it. Black tie is back apparently. I didn't know black tie went anywhere.
Yeah.
This is the last one from this article, and then I've just got like 2 tiny points from 2 others,
Oh,
and
okay.
then we'll move on. Champagne towers.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't put it in my
Okay.
list, but I saw it.
Nice. I-
Well.
Don't quite get the point.
Me neither. I feel like it's just really messy and
Yeah. Like I don't want to
Um,
have champagne spilled on my wedding dress. Well,
yeah.
I'll be wearing a suit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just very messy and wasteful too. Like you're
Right.
just wasting all the
I mean,
champagne.
even if a lot of it ends up in the cups, you're
you're
gonna
still
spill
spilling,
something.
and like I don't know if everybody's gonna want to like get the cups. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't know. I feel like it's just. I guess it looks good for the picture, the 1-2 pictures that you're gonna get with the tower, and then that's it.
Right.
So I don't feel like people should be doing that. And I feel like it's a trend that it's gonna die super soon. Like a couple people did it, and then people are gonna forget about it.
Right.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, that's too dumb.
Yeah.
We can do
It's like,
something
oh,
else."
haha, that looks cool and different, and then no.
People are gonna forget it. Or they're gonna find something else.
Yeah, I agree. This one I almost like. I don't know what when I read it, I almost passed out. It was so shocking. Weekday weddings.
What?
Yeah.
Is that like what? I don't even understand.
With a surge, this is a different website now, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Brights.com.
Thank No.
I'm just saying, in case somebody checks the article and then they're like, it doesn't say weekday. Because we have a very large audience that might do that.
Right. They want to fact check us.
Okay. With a surge in demand for events, many couples have accepted that a Thursday wedding is just as great as a peak Saturday event. In fact, it gives couples an opportunity to extend the wedding experience for loved ones. Weekday weddings and elopement. I don't even know what that. They don't explain that at all.
Yeah,
They just
like,
say.
what does that even matter? We're gonna have one for
We're
3
gonna
days in a row.
right. We're gonna have a 4-day wedding. The appetizer course will take all of Thursday. Main course, ceremony's Thursday. Reception is Friday. After party Saturday. Yeah, weekday weddings and elopements are definitely the biggest shift I've seen. That will be a big part of the future, says
I'm telling you,
somebody.
a lot of people are just thinking of eloping.
Elopements, that's the thing. You can elope any day of the week.
Yeah.
Better to do it on a weekday so a judge can officiate. So it's a little misleading to stick that in there. But a wedding on a weekday. The only thing I can think is if if all your guests have vacation days saved up and can take the Friday off.
Right, exactly.
That actually sounds pretty cool. You're giving them a long weekend.
That's why I was thinking, like, maybe they're just doing it on purpose so less people can attend. Because if you do it on a weekday, like, not a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll skip work and skip all my responsibilities those 2 days that we're going to be partying, you know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe that's that. I don't know. Or if you're going to do, well, I mean, of course I'm open, but if you're going to do a very small wedding with only, like, your close friends or your immediate family, then maybe in that case you can arrange having a very small gathering with those people on a weekday because it doesn't really matter. Right. Because it's just them. But still, it's not like your parents or your best friend doesn't work, you know? Like, you also have things to do. Yeah. But I'm
going to have my wedding on a Tuesday morning.
Oh, in the morning, too. Ugh.
Doesn't that sound like, even though Wednesday would definitely be worse, for some reason Tuesday morning sounds worse to me. Okay, I promise I only have 2 more.
Okay. Let's go.
This one is just funny because of the article, but I've seen people do this and it's interesting. Okay. Experiential wedding registries. So instead of, here's a list of items we want, give us money so we can take a trip on a honeymoon or do something like that.
Right.
And the article just makes me laugh because it says, Millennials and Gen Z have particularly been vocal about pursuing life's experiences over material goods. Thank you, Millennials and Gen Z. Right. You're saving the world. But anyhow, instead of getting things for your home, getting a nice trip or something like that.
But if you're just asking for money, then it doesn't really... I mean, I understand that the purpose behind asking money is to go on a trip or something like that. But you can just, like, get a bunch of money and, like, have down payment for an apartment or something. You know what I mean?
You can even tell people, oh, we're going to take a trip to the Bahamas, like something they're more willing to pay for, and then just be like, yeah, that's in our savings account now. Right. I'm gonna buy stocks.
Like, you could do whatever you want. So that's my thing. True. Like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Well, it's like asking for gifts that it's literally the same thing as if you were having a birthday party. Like, I understand, like, a wedding is, like, more significant, or, like, that's why people used to, or some are still asking for stuff because you're, like, moving in together, or you're having out, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're starting your life
as a married couple, right? Yeah. But, like, I feel like nowadays most people that are getting married already live together. Yeah. And are already, like, you know, done that step of the thing. Like, right now, it's not as traditional as before. Like, oh my God, we're getting married now. We're gonna. Yeah. And I'm not saying 100%. That nobody does that.
Yeah, of course, plenty of people do, but a lot of people are that way.
A lot of people are that way.
Most people in long-term relationships that I know that have now graduated college live together before getting married. Right. Like, I don't know somebody who hasn't done that.
Right, and so most people already have their own things. So I also see why people are just asking for experiences, because why would you ask for a microwave if you already have one?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I would ask for money, but not for a trip.
Right.
I would just be like,
I think I
"Thanks
would
for
ask, like-
paying my loans."
Exactly. Like,
You know,
either
like,
pay off my
"Thanks for paying
loans
debt,"
or
like,
ask everybody to collectively underwrite my mortgage and buy a house.
right,
Like,
come
something like
on,
that.
Be smart.
Yeah. I don't have strong feelings about it. I kind of feel like I would be fine with a traditional registry, and you know, even if you're already living with somebody and you have stuff, just get nicer stuff, because
Yeah.
that's you know, an upgrade into the next stage of life, and that lasts longer than a trip. And yeah, you'll make nice memories, but you can still take a honeymoon to a slightly less nice place, and it's
Yeah.
about being with your new husband or wife, not third time's a
What
charm.
happened to the other one? You're right.
But you know what I mean. Like you're gonna have a romantic and nice time. You'll go somewhere nice, even without it being the craziest place on earth because everybody chipped in $500. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll feel differently when I'm about to ask people for a bunch of money. But
No, that's true.
I
I
don't
know
know.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what I
The
mean.
name of love.
What do you mean?
Oh.
That would have been a better name. What do you mean?
Okay,
last one. Last one. Themed parties.
Themed weddings.
Yeah, and now and
Okay.
the article, true to form. This is a third website. Now that we're all double vaxxed, weddings are doubling down on both fun and tradition. But rehearsal dinners and welcome parties are all about fun, with themes that are all about fun and humor and whimsy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that was actually a lot more boring to read than I thought. But a theme for a wedding. No, the theme is wedding. That's my thought. Like, is the love of those two people not a theme already?
Right.
Like, sorry. We all know one of them somehow. That's the theme. I'm not gonna be like, well, come to my under the sea wedding.
I was
Like,
gonna say, like, and what is the point of having a theme wedding? Like, are the guests supposed to like be dressed up like a certain way, like to
Right.
go
What
with
is
the
it?
theme,
Yeah.
or like, because if you think about it, you can decorate like your wedding venue
However you
whatever
want.
way you want, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like themed. It just,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to call it a theme.
Mhm.
It's just your decoration
Yeah.
for your wedding.
You
You know
don't.
what I mean?
What is the quote from
So
The Office? There's like,
Thanks,
there's lots of
that's-
them. But there's one where Angela's planning a party or something, and they're talking about the theme.
And who?
Angela.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody's planning a party, and Angela's mad at them. But
Mhm.
oh no, it's Kelly with her birthday that Jim and Dwight throw.
Yeah.
And they're
it's
like, this is the theme, and she's like, you don't say a theme, you see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just theme your decorations a little.
Exactly. Like, because my thing is, like, if you're gonna call it a theme, it's because you're gonna ask your guests
To
to
dress
dress
up.
up
Yeah.
and like, or bring something. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? You don't have to call it a theme. It's just your decoration. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my thing. I don't think.
Yeah.
The wedding isn't the theme,
Right.
in my opinion.
I feel like
too.
a themed wedding, even if you don't tell your guests and you do something that's like, it also depends what the
Less.
theme is. If it's
Yeah.
like silver and you have more silver
I
decorations,
don't think that's
you know, it's like, I wouldn't call
it
it a theme, but you get my point. There can be more subtle themes that are just like a certain type of decorations, but if your theme is Disney and all of the centerpieces are Mickey Mouse heads, like, no, that's not good.
Yeah,
Disney
I'm agreeing.
adults, just don't get married.
Wow.
I'm kidding. Standard disclaimer. It's fine. if
Wow.
That's your thing. Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, I'll stop talking now. I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. Well, so the first thing I have on my list, it's not really a trend. I just saw one TikTok about it,
Okay.
and I was like, why no? Huh?
That's
How much
pretty
money
much-
do you have? You know what I mean?
I'd say 90% of the TikToks that I
It's-
see on my For You page that's my
Okay,
reaction.
that's your reaction.
What? Why?
So this person, and again, do whatever you want. It's your wedding. Please, whatever fills your heart, whatever makes you and
Exactly.
your
It's your
partner
day.
happy. It's your day. Whatever floats your boat. But this person
That being said.
Right. I hate it. So they basically had their initials, like the groom and bride's initials, as like a logo basically. And so they put it everywhere. So what she was talking in this particular video, and then I saw other videos, because so she was like, oh, what guests a year after my wedding are still talking about. And she's like, part 1. And so I was like, okay, like she has different things. Now, all the other parts were the same thing, but just like in different like items.
Okay.
So they had their initials printed basically in their drinks. So like top of the drink, orange juice, champagne, whatever it was, top of the drink, their initials. Pretty cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Do what you want. The carpet for the aisle, like the bottom, their initials. I saw that they served French fries, and they had the little, the little cardboard stuff, like McDonald's or whatever other little cardboard. Well, the initials were there. So that's why I'm like, it's not just you putting your initials, you basically created like a whole brand.
Right.
Like what?
That's
and
so funny.
I was like, props to you for having that much money that you don't even know what you're gonna do. You're like, oh, we have to spend this money in the wedding. So let's put our initials on everything.
Yeah.
That's not my thing.
Wow. No.
Like you can do it in, I don't even know.
I mean, I can see like maybe a big sign somewhere, or like a medium
100%.
sign.
Yeah.
Maybe like behind, if you're doing buffet style for food, like behind the like balloons, or just a nice carving or a banner or something like that. Sure.
I get it.
Just so we know who we're here for.
Right.
If this is your 3rd wedding of the day, you're like,
who are these people? I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you know who it is.
But they put their initials everywhere.
Wow.
And so I was like, again.
So
I'm so glad you were able to do that if you really want to do it. But I just feel like you could have
spent money on better things.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe there are a couple that's not going to have children. I was gonna say, like, dude, is your kid not gonna have a college fund? Like, save that money for something. Even if you're not having a kid, just save money, people. I don't understand.
Maybe the guests are still talking about it not right away. Oh my god. Maybe they're
that was the other thing
money.
I was
we
gonna
should
say.
Ask them because
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Weddings are already a tiny bit narcissistic. Like,
a little bit.
It's all about you,
and our love.
Yeah, but I mean, I get the point of just the wedding by itself. That's fine.
Yeah.
But to do that at your wedding, and then to make multiple TikToks about what our guests are still talking about 1 year later, I'm sorry. Nobody talks about your wedding a year after the wedding.
Unless it's
your first anniversary.
Well,
be like, hey, remember that wedding? They just got married. Let's get an anniversary gift. But
who are they?
I don't know. Close family might do that.
I was gonna say.
Anyways,
close family.
point being, nobody was talking about your wedding for a year straight, especially with what they did. Like, first off, waste of money, not that cool.
No.
What are they talking about?
Right, it's that's like, my thing. Like, oh, remember they had their initials everywhere. Let's move on. Like, that's
day 218 after the wedding. Oh, good morning, honey. Say, do you remember the Smiths had their initials on the French fry containers? Wow.
I wish we would have thought of that. Like, hello.
And then he just cries. So yeah, that's rather silly. Also, on the French fries point, oof, man, I've seen some really American weddings out there.
I mean, you can give them as a snack. That would be a great snack. But like, if you're gonna incorporate them in your main dish, like,
to me, it just makes it feel trashy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Cheap.
Again,
maybe they didn't have enough money
because they spent it all on their initials.
I mean.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, we've got all the cups. We've got the centerpieces. We've got flowers shaped in our initials. There's only $100 left in the budget. $50 on French fries, $50 on embroidered French fry containers? Question mark? Yeah.
Exactly.
I love my country, but why?
Yeah,
why? I've seen, there was that one TikTok we saw, capitalism. That's it. There's that one TikTok we saw where they had Chick-fil-A cater.
Oof.
And like the bride and groom, instead of putting cake in each other's mouths, were putting chicken.
Yeah, it was.
And then
it was like a chicken sandwich. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And then as I was looking at the articles for this, it wasn't a relevant trend to mention, but there was a picture of clearly at a wedding, like a silver platter of that somebody's holding food, and it's like a dozen about that high buckets of KFC chicken.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, if KFC is at your wedding, I mean, it's one. So that's the other thing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's one thing if you have limited financial means. It's another thing if you've thrown a blowout wedding and you want fast food there. And even that's the thing. Even if you're on a shoestring budget, like you can get nice stuff. And like, no disrespect, because Chick-fil-A catering is pretty good. So if that's all you can do, get Chick-fil-A catering. But the people who did it in that TikTok clearly had money for their wedding, and were just like, all they said was, we just knew we needed to have Chick-fil-A at our wedding. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the holy poultry, but no. Anyways, next one.
I don't even know if we can get through all of these because this is.
Yeah, we might have to cut at some point.
Oh, it's only 31 minutes.
Oh no.
What? What happened? What did you do?
It's possible it's not recording on the microphone.
Are you? We've been talking for 30 minutes and it's not
possible
recording on
that
the
it's not.
Okay, well, do
I
you
really
want to
don't
check
know.
now?
I'll check. And it shows the microphone icon. Hell yeah. Okay.
A whole 30 minutes without the mic on.
Yeah, but it worked fine.
Podcasting 101.
Yeah, we're new at this. It's fine.
It's okay. Okay.
It's okay. Next one. Watch it now like this isn't going to work for some reason. Or,
Right,
like it sounds
like
worse
something-
with the
right.
microphone. People are like, don't use the mic, just
Don't
use your phone.
it, right. I mean, you know. Okay.
Alright, next.
So the next point, I thought we were not gonna have time to do all of them, but I think we will. Like, it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I think so.
So the next one I have, you said you had a like funny story about it.
Yeah. kind of a
Again,
funny
I
story.
haven't experienced any of these because I haven't been to a wedding in a long time. But I have heard and seen a couple of like TikToks or pictures about this stuff. I have my own opinions, but again, I haven't experienced it, so you have.
Mm-hmm.
The donut wall.
Yeah,
This is like,
the donut wall.
yeah,
a
literally,
wall.
that's it. Like,
It is as it sounds.
It's a wall, and it has like sticks, and then
Yep.
in the sticks, there's donuts.
There's donuts. It's donuts on a wall.
Yeah,
What more do you need to know?
right.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So, I think it might have gotten started. I don't know the details of it. Mm-hmm. But I believe Krispy Kreme in particular
Of course.
has either their own charitable foundation or they donate to something, or if you place a bulk order of a certain amount of donuts, they donate money to something. That's as specific as I can be. I hope it's something good.
Me too.
But so I think that might be how it got started because people realized this and then they were like, when are you ever going to order that many donuts? It could be a dessert at a wedding, and that was kind of like became a trend in a way. I could be completely wrong about that too, but I think that's
how
kind
it
of what started
okay.
it. Fact check me. But yeah, so I've been to one wedding where there was a donut wall. It was my cousin's wedding. And the story is that I actually built the donut wall.
Oh, yeah, because you were part of the wedding.
Yeah, I was part of the wedding.
What you do? Go on.
I walked one of the bride and groom's dogs down the aisle at that wedding.
I would say that's the most important job at the
That
wedding.
is the most important job at the wedding. Like, yeah, probably shouldn't lose the rings. Yeah, the bride and groom both need to be there, but walking the dog, it's the big leagues.
I think so.
So anyways.
Well, if you don't have control of the dog, it can go south real quickly.
Yes, it could. It could. They were very well behaved. I was very nervous beforehand because you wouldn't necessarily expect the one that I was walking to be well behaved, but he was. And
Nice.
in some weddings, they'll actually have the dog stop with the bride and groom once the dog gets to the altar or whatever. We did not do that because that would have gone south. It was like down the aisle to the front, all right, exit stage right, and then pass the dog off to somebody else to take the dog home. But it was still good, and it made for good photos and that sort of thing. But anyhow, so it was my cousin, and I'm very close to my own uncle and cousins. And so I was at their house, like, trying to do all this last-minute planning stuff, and my aunt's like, we need somebody to make the donut wall. And I was like, what's a donut wall? And then I explained everything I just explained to you. It was like a square plank of wood, and I measured out holes to where... It was very complicated. I had to measure the diameter of a Krispy Kreme donut, then the diameter of the hole, and then how far apart they'd each have to be, how big the peg would be, like all that stuff. Measured it out, measured twice, cut once, drilled the holes, put pegs in, and then put donuts on the pegs. And each peg had like, it was a pretty long peg, so average length peg, I think. And so it had like 3 or 4 donuts on the... What's that?
Just wait, okay.
Okay.
3 or 4
had
donuts?
I think 3 donuts on each peg. Okay. And it was a grid of like 4 by 3 going down. Okay. And we had 2 of those boards. So there were a lot of donuts. But the contentious part at my cousin's wedding is she wanted to have the donut wall instead of a groom's cake. Like there would be the bride's cake and then a donut wall.
That's a thing?
So I was about to say, I didn't know if you knew that was a thing. I think it's largely a tradition of the American South. And Texas is kind of the South. It's not, but that tradition bled over. We'll do an episode on Texas sometime. Just you sitting there crying as I'm talking to the camera.
Get me out of here.
But yeah, it's a tradition to have 2 cakes.
2 cakes, yeah.
And so there were some people... So
she wanted a cake for herself.
She wanted basically...
Not a cake for the groom.
At that point, it wouldn't really be a bride's cake. It would just be a cake and donuts.
Wedding cake, yeah.
And there was some contention with other family members who were like, no, you need to have a bride's cake and a groom's cake. Like, his groom's cake is not going to be donuts on a wall. And in the end, there were 2 cakes. And that's as specific as I'd like to be in that story. Because... I'm fine with. I don't think so. It would have been even crazier if somebody were to say, "I want just a donut wall, no cake."
No cake.
There has to be a cake at your wedding, at least one. Okay. So I feel like donuts are just there as a supplement. But I don't hate them. Especially since I built one and got to see it in use. It was pretty awesome.
Right.
So that's the thing. There were 2 cakes, one donut wall. And I had a slice of cake from each cake, and then I had like anywhere between 3 and 6 donuts that night. It was a fun time.
And are you trying to say that the donuts were better tasting than the
Not
cakes?
better.
No?
I don't know what. No, I was just saying like I had a lot of sugar that night because there was a donut wall on top of cake.
Yeah.
And it feels lighter to you, so you can eat more. And then I'm pretty sure Krispy Kreme puts something addictive in their icing other than sugar. Maybe it's just sugar.
It looks like sugar.
Right. But anyhow, that's that.
Okay. Well, again, I haven't experienced them, but I feel like they're pretty useless to me. I mean, you can have donuts at your wedding because you can have whatever you want at your wedding, but
why?
Like why would you want to display them? I understand like people are gonna come and grab them every time, but the ones that don't get grabbed are gonna get like just like stale or like yucky. Like, and it depends on what time of the year, like what season you're going to do your wedding, where you're going to do your wedding, outside, inside. But like it could potentially attract bugs like flies and stuff like that. So it's like in my opinion, you can have donuts, just like there's plenty of weddings that have a dessert table other than like you can have your cake, but you also have other desserts. I understand like having donuts, you can have multiple of them because it doesn't feel like super heavy in your stomach. You can eat more. You can have them there. I feel like just
the wall
making
serve
a wall.
purpose.
Yeah, like it's just.
It's one of those things that like the champagne tower looks cool,
and
you're like, oh,
2
that's
pictures,
neat.
and then that's it.
And then
you know what I mean. So
I don't know.
I feel like you can do.
It's a little
better
unique. I don't know. I think I'm
picture
biased
stuff.
just because
You built one.
Yeah. Key is, if you're going to do it, have tongs for people to grab their donuts.
Oh yeah,
Because
please do.
especially if it's not the last thing in the line, if it's a buffet style wedding,
Oh yeah.
and like,
Ooh.
okay, middle, grab my donut. Now I have sugar on one or two of my hands,
Right.
and you're now grabbing serving utensils for other things.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah. No. No. If you're gonna have them, you also need to have a ton. Because it's not just going to be one person grabbing one donut at a time. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 at the same wall, especially
Right.
if your wall is bigger.
Right.
I don't see I also feel like that is a trend that is going to die. And I feel like
It
it
might
pretty...
have already died. I don't know.
yeah,
I
pretty
haven't
much already
heard about it
died.
recently,
Exactly,
but I don't
so-
talk to many people about weddings. So.
Me neither. But that's my thing. Well, it's very big in the sense of, like, a lot of people are doing it. That's
Oh,
what I
okay.
meant.
I got you.
It's not controversial at all. Sorry, I don't think we're
I
going to
didn't
spend
mean
that.
controversial. I mean, but yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't think we're gonna spend that much time
Okay,
in it,
that's
but
fine.
sure. It's film photography and disposable cameras. They're
You
two
said
different
not
things.
Controversial.
They're two different things,
I
but I
have
put them
strong
together
opinions.
because really.
Cameras, yeah, and so they go
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
I kind of have strong opinions, but so just to be clear that I know what is going on here. Film is just your wedding photographer uses film instead of digital.
Basically, yes.
And then the disposable camera trend that I've seen is you give like all your guests disposable
Yes.
cameras, and so you get all these moments that a professional photographer wouldn't capture.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Film, I don't really care. Like, I think it would be kind of neat to have like developed pictures and have that
You can
kind
print
of retro
yours,
look, but well, I know that, but I mean,
I know what you
that's
mean.
the thing.
Like the retro.
Well, so
like,
that's why I don't really get it, because you can basically recreate whatever effect that the film would have
yeah.
with
It
some
depends
level
on-
of editing.
I guess
but
it also depends on what kind of camera you're using.
Yes, it definitely
so
does.
If it is like, I mean, of course, to be able to be a film camera, it's an older camera because all the
I mean,
cameras now are digital. But
Yeah. They might
And
make like
it's-
really professional film cameras, like new film cameras.
I mean, they probably do.
They
but
probably
I
do.
don't know.
I don't know. I mean, Polaroid's making a comeback, so somebody probably makes modern film cameras.
I mean, yeah.
But that's the point, is it looks different in a way that you just can't replicate through editing in digital photos.
Mm-hmm.
It could be cool, but I don't think I'll be like, I just wish this photo was taken on a film camera.
Right.
I just don't remember what my wedding was like looking at this digital photo. Like,
Right.
no, not at all.
You
So,
it the right way.
yeah, I-
What is this?
this is like the lock. So now it's closed. And then this is open. If I can open it. This is open, and so now it goes into my mouth.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted.
You're good. Let's see.
probably
Yeah,
loud.
it came out of there. So, anyways.
Thanks.
Um,
It's not the hole. That's why I was confused.
yeah,
the
no,
hole
I
was
get
here,
you.
but then
It's lifted
I
up
thought it
here.
was-
yeah,
yeah.
I understand. It's pretty. We'll do an episode about cups sometime.
they're interesting.
Yeah. Tall cups,
Okay.
thin cups, short cups. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
What about the disposable
camera
camera thing?
trend? I hate with a burning passion.
Ooh.
Um, so, So there could be ways that you would do it where it's a bit better. And I'll explain what I mean. If you do the thing that I've seen, where it's literally you just have a stack of disposable cameras, and you tell all your guests, grab one and take pictures of us, of you, of whatever at the wedding. I have no idea, especially during like first dance, how you wouldn't see every person at the tables and around you also holding disposable cameras in all the photos taken with the disposable cameras. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
I-
everyone's taking photos,
Well, but I feel like
you're gonna see in the pictures people taking
I
photos.
know. Well, I feel like I haven't been to a wedding again, but I feel like that happens after all like the crucial moments of the wedding. So like after the first dance. So the disposable thing is mainly just for the party. So you capture
okay.
phony
moments. People being fake. Those
funny
snakes at my wedding.
Funny moments and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Not just...
Okay.
Because if you think about it, that already happens without the disposable cameras.
That's
because
true.
Everyone is on their phone.
That's true. Which I was going to say, that's a thing, is to, you know, even worse than a movie theater, have a ton of reminders to stay off your phone at a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weddings I've been to. I'd forget if my cousin's was like that, but the other wedding I went to, like multiple times, like I think the officiant might have even said, like, please put your phones away before he started with the ceremony. Like, the bride and groom request that everybody just live in the moment and not use your phones and all that.
I get that.
So I would do something to that effect, because I don't want people doing that. And okay. So I didn't know about the fact that it was mostly for the party.
I don't know if that's but I feel like that is what
right.
I think.
Okay. Well, that gets to my point. There's ways you could do it where it would be nice.
Because
like,
most
only give
people-
it to 5 guests instead of every
like
guest. Because then it's not everybody's worried about, oh my gosh, they want us to take part in this. Oh my God, I need to take pictures. Just like, I don't know, at the party part, give it to the best man and your maid of honor.
Yeah.
Like,
You're gonna be trash.
after they talk,
or like
they don't need to do
groomsmen and your
anything
bridesmaids.
anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
after the toasts. So make them the photographers, because they're supposed to be kind of, you know, working for you.
Yeah. Well, so that my thing is also, and that's why I also think that they give the cameras after like everything has happened, like when the party starts, because most people that do the disposable camera thing also have a hired professional photographer. So that person's one that's capturing the pretty moments, whatever you want to call them, important moments. And then it's like, haha, funny pictures that, again, the professional photographer would not always get, because they're always trying to get the
bride and groom.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the immediate family, that's it.
Yeah.
But like your best friend's gonna take a picture of you twerking, or take a picture of whoever else, grandma taking a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's okay, because I don't think disposable cameras are that expensive. So you can get a decent amount of disposable cameras, give it to your friends, and then pay a professional photographer to have really good pictures of your wedding.
Yeah.
But I would do what you're saying too. If I do it, well, I don't think I'm gonna do it. But if I do it, I would give it to specific people, and only like a very small group of people that I'll be like, yeah, they'll take good pictures. Because the thing is, like, I get the whole point is like, get drunk, have fun, but I will also try to give it to people that don't get super crazy, because it'll be funny if you get like a blur picture of your friend, but it also like they're probably just gonna take pictures of the floor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna turn out that good. So I would give it to people that I know could potentially still be
sober,
present. Not sober, but have actual memories of most of the wedding. Not just a blackout.
You've been to some crazy weddings, it sounds like.
No, I haven't, but I feel like, I mean, at least the well, maybe not the bride and groom, but definitely I feel like the people that get the most drunk, depending on your friends, of course, is the maid of honor and the best man. But that's, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. Anyways.
So that's on disposable cameras.
Yeah. I say no still.
Okay. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can finish this.
Okay, there's only 4 left. Okay. The one I have next is not like a trend right now. I mean, it is a trend, but it's been a trend basically, I guess. So it's not like so much like a new trend like the donut wall or whatever, disposable camera. But it's the first look. Excuse me. What do you think about the first look?
I hate the first look.
So I don't know if this happens everywhere. I don't think so. But the first look is basically, the groom is not supposed to look at the bride on her wedding dress until they get married. So that's one of the things that I'm like, this defeats the purpose of that, but it's okay. But the groom and bride see each other before the ceremony, like right before the ceremony, right?
Yeah.
Is it before the ceremony?
Before the ceremony.
So it's like this whole big thing. They have a bunch of pictures and
Right.
like the closest like
And-
bridesmaids and groomsmen and stuff like that. And so they see each other for the first time in their attire.
Right. Yeah, and the thing too is that they'll often be like brought somewhere.
I'm gonna file my nail. I'm sorry.
You're good. They'll be brought somewhere where they're back to back or like around the corner.
Right,
of
and
the
then they like
room,
turn around and that's when
then-
they see each
yeah.
other. That's like a
Usually,
whole,
like he'll turn
Let's
for the first
recreate one.
time. They both turn at the same time. Whatever. So you can get this nice video picture moment of the reaction
seeing
to
you for the
seeing
first time, yeah.
each other or seeing her or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so like many things, it's run away and gone way too far now. Because it's a very new thing in my mind, but the quote unquote traditional first look is the
When-
groom seeing the bride.
When the bride walks down the aisle?
No. What I mean
Before
is,
that?
like the first look trend
Okay.
is
Just
here's the groom, turns around, sees his bride, and it's like, oh my gosh, first look, and now we go to the ceremony.
yeah.
But people have expanded that to more family members
Yeah.
than their family members, because I guess they're not family yet; they haven't gotten married. To family members, to their bridesmaids and groomsmen, and it's like, huh? Didn't the bridesmaids get ready with the bride? Like, what?
Right,
Haven't you seen
exactly,
already?
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And then I've seen like pranks too.
Yeah,
Like the
where it's
best man
the,
dresses
yes,
up.
the best man's wearing a wedding dress, which hilarious, makes you a great
Yeah.
viral Facebook sensation.
Yeah, Facebook.
But
That's where it gets.
Yeah.
That's where it goes viral.
That's exactly
Facebook.
where it goes viral, in my opinion. Which tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
But I've also seen it.
Sorry.
Sometimes I take too long to talk,
Yeah.
and Sylvia likes to make fun of me.
Oops. Sue me.
Don't think I won't.
No, you can.
Intentional
Bombing, you could
infliction
before
of
that,
emotional
but-
distress. It's a tort. Look it up. We're gonna cut that part. Anyways, that I've even seen people do it with their dogs. And it's like
I've seen
dogs have to be in the weddings at every part, but I'm like, stupid. The dog doesn't fucking care
doesn't-
about your.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The dog doesn't care about your dress at all.
They're not gonna
It doesn't
recognize that
know
you're gonna
it.
be in a
He's
wedding dress.
already smelled you and is just
Right.
excited to
Just
see you.
to see you,
Again,
exactly.
it's for cute pictures and videos
Yeah.
to make the human happy. That's all it is. Whether it's with a dog or whether it's with their family members, that's all it is. Make human happy.
Or make fun of the groom.
Yeah, make fun of the groom is also a part of it. And to me, all that, like, we'll get back to the original first look in a second, but to me, all of that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, brides, when the bride does a first look with the groomsmen, like,
That is.
what is even the
stupid.
point, man? They don't matter.
Don't matter at
They're
all.
just some friends. He might barely even know
Exactly.
those dudes.
Maybe there's. I mean,
Not barely know them, but you get my point. It's
Yeah,
like,
like-
they're not even going to see you the rest of your married life, potentially.
Right.
They're just a
Well,
guy that he
yeah.
knows right
well,
now.
so it really depends on who the groomsmen are, because
It
I would
does, of
understand
course.
if it's like the brother of the
Sure.
bride.
So that's what I was
You
gonna
know
say,
what I
is
mean?
my cousin
Or,
that
like,
did a
even
first
the brother
look.
of the groom. You know,
Yeah.
like people that have known you for so many years and are still
Sure.
gonna. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's still like.
It's,
nah,
again,
okay.
the more
But
intimate, tight-knit, the better.
yeah.
The more intimate, the better.
Yeah.
The more intimate, the better. And so, yeah, as opposed to just groomsmen or
Yeah.
pick a random wedding guest and do a first look.
Yeah.
So my cousin did first look with her now husband,
Yeah.
her dad, her mom, her brother. I don't know of anyone else happening. Those are the only photos I saw, so I imagine those were the only ones that happened.
Right.
I think that's fine by modern
Yeah.
standards. getting
like
back.
if you're gonna have a
yeah,
first
if you're
look,
gonna do
that's
it,
fine.
sure, your family and then the groom.
In my
For
opinion,
me, I'm not doing that.
no. You have to cry when I'm walking down the aisle
Exactly.
because you have not seen me on a wedding dress
Right,
ever.
that's the whole point. To
You
me,
know what I mean?
so that's the thing. I'm very nervous that I won't cry at all. Right, so that's my point. I'm very nervous that I won't cry at all already, and if you cheat on the first look and do it before the ceremony, then all these people in the audience are going to be judging you like, he's not even crying, she's walking down the aisle. Like,
Right,
even if they know you did a first look, it's still like,
It's still, yeah.
dude, shed a tear. So, it's okay if you don't cry at your wedding. But,
Right, you know.
I don't know. Again, no disrespect to people that do it. Plenty of people do it. And it seems like it's the norm now. But I don't think it's necessary for me. So I don't think we'll do that. But
Yeah,
that.
I don't like it either. So that's that. Okay, this one, I don't know if this is like recently or not. Again, I don't know really that much about wedding trends, but this one's the private last dance. So everybody knows, first dance, everybody's there, duh, and the groom and bride dance together as a married couple for the first time.
Yeah.
Nice and sweet and pretty.
Super sweet.
I like it. That's a
Yeah.
Well, it's not a trend. It's just like
It's the way you do it.
right.
That one they haven't changed yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I thought
establish
they were-
private first dance.
No. I mean, no. But they have this private last dance where like all the guests leave and well, I don't even think it's when the guests leave. I just think it's
They
I
kick
don't
them
know.
out, basically.
They do. I don't
At
know.
least that's the way.
how it
So that's
works.
the way I've had it done because I think
Okay.
both the weddings that I went to were private last dances,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's like plenty of people have already left.
Yeah, of course.
But everybody that's left is like, okay, it's last dance time. Y'all get out of the venue. Only bride and groom allowed. And they kick you out, and then you're out in front of the main entrance to the venue, if it's an indoor venue, of course, which both of these were. Actually, I don't think I stayed until the end of the second one, so I can't testify to that. But point is, you're with all the guests that still remain in front of the entryway, and you usually like make a line on both sides of it, so when they're done with their last dance, they can come out and everybody's there. Sometimes you're just clapping. Sometimes you have like bubbles, throw rice is the
Yep.
traditional thing. We had sparklers that we all lit up. It looked really cool in the photos. And yeah, the dance is just by yourself, and then
Yeah,
you leave
you're just
with
dancing by
your friends, and then after that, your friends can stay, but it's pretty much done at that point.
Yeah,
So-
basically they're leaving
I mean, I was eating more donuts still, but that's just me.
because you were families with them. You were
yes,
staying
I
with
know,
them.
I know.
So what
So,
do you think about it?
I know, I was getting there. I like that it provides a sharp cutoff. Instead of last dance, everybody's still there, bride and groom are still there, and now it's like awkward, like, okay, we really want you all to leave now. I mean, I don't know if that's the way weddings were. Maybe the bride and groom left and then the party
Yeah.
just kept going. But anyhow, I like that aspect of it, and I think it's romantic and sweet to be alone. And I mean, I think it's almost necessary because you have not been alone the entire time. It's
Yeah.
been super stressful. Families are feeling all sorts of emotions. You can write something else. do it. No, write something else. I don't care how long this is. We can
Okay.
chop it up a little bit, shorten it,
Yeah.
if we need to. But I think this is gold. We'll just have a 2-hour first episode. Nobody's gonna watch it anyways. If you're watching this, I got you.
Don't say that nobody's gonna watch it.
People are gonna watch it. No.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay. So anyways, so it's a rest from the fact that you just had to do a wedding. Because yeah, it's nice, it's super romantic, you got married, but a lot of it's just work. You have to go talk to everybody, you barely get to eat your food, you're worried about things going wrong, messing
That's
up your
what you
vows, not fainting, yeah.
Oof, yeah.
So all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to just have like, okay,
Moment.
we're
where-
gonna have a moment of calm together, and then we just have to walk past those people, and then
Yeah.
they'll never bother us again. So
I agree.
I like it for those reasons.
Mhm.
I don't really dislike it for any reason. So that's that.
Good. Yeah, I agree. I also like it. I feel like you said it's a good cutoff. Like, okay, this is the wedding. That's it. Go home. We're done. You should be
Right.
done too. But it also it gives a really nice moment for the bride and groom to just be there and just like be with each other, be alone, you know, and yeah. I mean, dancing is like one way that you'd be like, oh yeah, they're dancing, but like you don't necessarily have to dance.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's very romantic, like you said, and
Mhm.
it's just nice to just, especially because you already had your first dance and everybody was watching you.
Right. They don't
And
need to see the
so-
last dance.
They don't need to see the last dance, so you feel like way more at ease, and you're like,
Yeah.
everything just happened, and
It's just-
now it's the
You're
end.
tired. It's
we're
just
together.
gentle swaying. It's not any
Any
elaborate
crazy,
dance
right.
like you might have done earlier. So
Exactly. So I like it.
I get why it became, again, what I'd say the norm.
I'm a fan of that. All right.
All right, 3 more.
3 more, because I just added one. Okay, neon signs. So this is a trend not only on weddings, but I've seen this everywhere. A lot of restaurants now have neon signs for people to take pictures
Yeah.
with and like in front of and stuff. They
For
have
the
like
gram.
yeah, exactly. It's literally just picture time. So, of course, neon signs are for the pictures. Like this is like
Yeah.
And
100%. You could even get a neon sign with your initials if you wanted
exactly. So that's the thing. Like it could literally be your signs. It could be your signs, your initials. It could be your signs too. It could be your whole name. It could be bride and groom or like wedding, whatever.
to. I want name and then next to each name parentheses and their star sign. So like
Nice.
Michael Sagittarius, Samantha Aquarius.
Nice. But yeah, it could be like Jason Sylvia's wedding 2020 whatever, and so like people are like or like it could be like a funny quote, something like that. I don't know. He thinks you're gonna get married at 30. Funny.
Are we gonna be 30 in 2030? Oh god.
We're actually gonna be 31.
Wow, we're gonna be 31.
It depends on when we get married, but we're gonna be 31. So
That's frightening.
yeah, so you hurry up. No, but
Bunch of existential dread just set in.
right.
Anyways,
My thing is like they're just trendy.
yeah,
And so right now they're ahead, and so whoever's getting married, it's like, oh yeah, I want a neon sign at my wedding. It's gonna look really cool for the pictures, and then
Right.
in a year, everybody's gonna be
forget
like
about it.
something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't really matter that much to me because like 5 years ago was like an arc of
Yeah, balloons.
balloons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
So right now it's just because neon signs are like look good in your Instagram feed. That's it.
Mhm.
So I'm not like pro or like against it because it's just like nah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting married now, so it doesn't matter to me.
I'm moderately against it just because I feel like we live for the gram too much already,
Okay.
and I don't feel any obligation to provide a photo spot, neon sign or otherwise, for my guests. They can post a
There's-
photo of me.
Okay. Well, there's
Like-
people getting photo booths.
Yeah, I know. That would be another one that I'd say no. It would be
Disposable camera.
right. Again, yeah, I could see getting a photo booth for like half an hour
Mm-hmm.
for the bride and groom to get pictures in, and then pack it up and
Yeah.
just say nobody else can use it, just because that's kind of cute for YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think weddings are too much focused on the guest experience, at least in the guests' minds. And that's maybe a thing with having too big of a wedding, like we talked about back at the start, that people are just like, you know, that you barely know are kind of there, and so they're taking pictures
Yeah.
of a party that they're at. And
It's
no,
not really
I want
about-
people to post
yeah.
a picture with me, the bride and groom. Like the one wedding that I went to that wasn't my cousin's was relatively smaller, and there's still a lot of people there, but you know, it was
Yeah.
normal size in my opinion. And the bride and groom actually like posed for pictures with everyone during the reception and just went around to all the tables because they knew everybody.
Right.
So that's the picture you should post, not
Yeah, I know what you mean.
neon sign,
Neon
just me and my
sign,
friends. Oh
right.
yeah, this was a wedding, by the way.
Mhm.
No. So I don't like it for that reason.
Okay. And these two, so this one I also added, but like way earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two were not here at the start. So this one's when they cut the cake and they put cake on each other.
Yeah.
That trend, well, it's not really a trend. I feel like it's a tradition.
Traditional.
It could die. I do not.
Be happy.
Why would you do that? And
Yeah.
also, like, you're not cutting the cake at the end of the wedding either. So it's literally like, woo, we cut the cake. Oh, now I have to wash my face or be sticky the whole night. And
Right.
it's just like so dumb.
Right.
It doesn't. Most of the pictures don't even look cute. It's just nasty. Your
Yeah.
hands are gross. Your face is gross. People are just laughing at you,
Right.
and it's
I feel
not like
it was
I don't know.
entertainment for a simpler time.
To
Back
me, it's just
back
like,
before,
nah, yeah.
you know, I don't know, the 21st century. It was like, ha, cake on face. Good one,
Right,
Joe.
exactly.
And now it's like,
Good one, Joe. It's like, well,
but yeah, you're gonna have cake on your face. You might get it on your dress or suit.
yeah.
I mean, it's party time anyways, so you might be spilling stuff, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you've wasted cake.
Exactly.
Like, even if your cake doesn't get finished, have people box that up and
Yeah.
ship it with you on your honeymoon, man. Like,
Ooh, 100%.
but yeah,
Eat that
I don't know.
cake.
I have no attachment to that one. So
Lose it.
lose it.
Not a thing. Okay, and then the last
Been
one. I remember. There's water on the board.
Yeah,
I remembered because of the private dance.
I was just trying to read it
Don't
upside down.
read it. It's about private vows or just
Ooh.
saying your vows at the ceremony.
Remind me that reminds me of another thing to talk about. It's pretty similar. It won't take much longer, but.
You can start with that. I don't know.
Oh, no,
like,
it's okay.
oh, okay.
Um,
Well,
private vows. What are private vows? Explain to the people.
Right. I feel like it's very self-explanatory. So your vows, you usually say them at the ceremony. There's like, say your vows, and you say them in front of your family and all the people that are at the ceremony. Private vows is literally you say them before or after the ceremony, honestly. Most people do it before, I think.
Yeah.
And so, because they don't want to say it in front of everybody, whatever reason it is, they meet before. I've seen it where they don't see each other either because they don't do
Yeah.
first look, and I've seen it after they do first look.
It's just too much effort at
And
that
they
point.
just read or say their vows privately, so it's more intimate, and that's it. Instead of saying it in
Yeah.
front of everybody else. So they don't say their vows at the ceremony.
Not a fan.
Not a fan?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. Nice. Did you
I
get
think
it?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
it's
at
not
least
there
knocked
anymore,
it off.
yeah.
We're also doing our own hair and makeup, but eventually we'll hire somebody. um, but I don't like it because, I mean, I get that people cannot like public speaking, and I get that it's very personal things to say. But the whole point of a wedding is to be, you know,
To
I guess it's a
vouch in
very
front of everyone
yeah.
else.
That's the point of the wedding ceremony is to testify to and make a commitment in front of your friends and family because it's so strong and you don't care who knows it, and that's the point, to have witnesses to it.
Right.
And so I think it's goofy to not do that. Again, do what you want, don't disrespect, but
Right.
yeah, I don't get why you do that. I think the other motivation for doing it could be just, excuse me, this over focus on like, we need to make everything private and intimate and whatever. And so I agree, I do like private last dance, but I feel like there's an overall trend of like, just us.
Then
And
don't
it's
have
like, I
everybody.
get
Yeah.
that to an extent, but it is supposed to be a wedding with other people.
Yeah.
So, you know, first look is the private deal, private vows, private last dance, like all that stuff. It's like, well, some of it's supposed to be in public, and that's why you invited all these people.
Right.
So that's my thought on it. yeah, that just, I'm sorry if it's a little embarrassing or whatever, but like, it's going to be way more meaningful to do it in front of people to me. Like, yeah, it can still be meaningful, but I don't know. I say do it in front of the people, not privately. Because then what happens at the ceremony? You're just like there. They tell the story of how you guys met and started dating and fell in love and all that. And then they say, they've done their vows already. You may kiss the bride. Like,
well, it depends on what ceremony.
of
you're
course, it
having.
depends on the ceremony. I know,
Yeah.
but you get my point. Is it's like, to me, it would feel like something is missing if I'm
Right.
sitting there. Which again, it's not about the people attending, but it just comes off
Yeah.
as weird to me to be like, they did that. Moving on.
Right.
I don't know.
I know what you mean. The introvert and shy
Yeah,
person
I
in
get
me
it.
doesn't want to do it
Well,
in front of everyone.
I've been a campus tour guide, so I talked in front of people all the
Shut
time.
up. I'm basically like a customer service person. I have to talk to people all the time too, but
Yeah.
I don't like it. That doesn't mean I like
yeah,
it.
no, I didn't like it either.
So again, the introvert and shy person in me wants to be like, no, let's just do it privately. Actually, I'm just gonna hand you the paper and you're gonna read on your own. That's it. You know what I mean?
Even better.
But
Sign on the dotted line. Do you accept these vows?
without a signature, it cannot be.
Right, it's not legally enforceable.
Right.
That's exactly how it works.
No, but also I definitely agree with you that the whole point of the vows is, well, not the whole point, but like the point of having a ceremony with people is to have them as a testimony of how strong your feelings are and how much you want to devote and commit to that other
Right.
person, right? And so they need to know what you're committing to. It's not just, oh, I love you forever, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I want to be there for your worst stuff, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. I don't know what people say in their vows. I promise to laugh at all your bad jokes, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Um,
That needs to be in there.
And so I definitely agree with you that it should be part of the ceremony. You should say it in front of everybody, but also again, I don't know. I feel like because it's something not very private, but it is private in some ways because most of the vows are very personal. It's not just generalized.
Right.
I'm gonna laugh all your jokes.
Well,
You know what I mean?
That's the thing is there is the like standard
Yeah.
list of vows that you do.
I mean, I know, but like the whole point of having your
own
personal
vows, right.
is you write them down because it's like more specific to
Right.
your partner.
Right.
So I'll probably have them like read. I will read them like at the ceremony, but
Yeah. I'm gonna try and
I
memorize
understand
mine.
the people that don't do it. Huh?
So I'm gonna try and memorize mine.
No, I'm gonna read mine.
Oh, there will be a paper. Don't worry.
But again, I understand the people that don't do it that way. So it's not like, oh, awful those people.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm saying awful those
No,
people to
definitely
any of
not.
the other trends, but
Well, KFC.
right. But the people with the initials.
Yeah, you guys suck.
No, but I don't think I'm gonna do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
That
that's
seems
just
fair. What language
my
would you do
opinion.
your vows in?
what language I would
Yeah.
do my vows in.
You got a lot of options.
Not really about me.
I don't know why you would do Italian, but it's an option.
Right. For nobody to understand. That's so smart.
Not
Except for like
embarrassing.
my mom.
Io mangio la mela.
Yeah, that's your pal. You eat an apple. You eat the apple actually. The apple.
The apple. Oh,
That's
gosh.
a good question. I don't know. It really depends because let's imagine we're getting
Let's imagine, yeah.
Your family
That wacky scenario.
right. Your family only speaks English,
This is true.
but almost all my family only speaks Spanish.
It's also true.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I want both of them to understand.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like,
I feel like we're just
I will
gonna
love you
have
forever.
to-
Te amaré por siempre. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like translate like
That's what I was gonna
real
say.
time.
I don't. No, definitely not real time.
It also
or
depends
line by
on
line.
I don't think we're gonna do destination wedding, but it really depends on where we're doing the
Yeah.
wedding and how many people. I feel
We'll be
like
doing it
it
in
would.
La Habana. Very cheap. Very cheap wedding.
I feel like it really depends on the
They pay for it.
on the demographic of the wedding. Not the demographic, but like basically. Well, you know what I'm trying to say? It's not demographic, the word I'm looking for. It's like depending on how many people there speak English and how many people there speak Spanish.
Yeah, I understood.
So I'm gonna go for the majority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the majority will speak Spanish, I'm sure.
Well, I have
We were
friends
talking
that
about
speak English.
size of the wedding.
Yeah, I guess.
If your whole family's gonna come,
Okay, no, it's not gonna be
it's
the
gonna
whole
be
family,
a
but
very large wedding. But anyways,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. But that's another thing
What
for
language
another
do
day
you
to figure
want
out.
to do your vows? Because it can. Okay, I was gonna say it doesn't have to do with like the guests, and I
Yeah.
know it's not for the guests, but I do want because again the whole point is for us to have them a testimony of what we're saying. I want them to understand what I'm saying,
Of
even though
course.
it's not for
I feel
them.
like
You know,
we'll have to do the entire thing
Real
in
time.
one language and the entire thing
Real-time
in the other.
translation.
Not real time.
no, I know. Like just read
the entire paper. You've talked for 10 minutes in Spanish. Now you're gonna
And
talk
now
for
you're
5 in English. Like.
I mean. Okay.
But
I mean,
anyways,
yeah, I
to
see
me that seems the best. Like
I
at
see
least for
that.
the most
Or
important
just
things.
hand out print
Right.
copies in one language to one family and the other language to the other family.
That would
And it's
be
like you can read it on your own.
hilarious.
We're not really. No, we're not
Right.
even
We're
gonna
not
say
gonna
them.
translate. That's hilarious.
That's all the topics.
That's all the topics we had.
well, not the
That's-
topics. It was one topic. That's all the trends.
Yikes. Well, anyways, that's this episode.
Yes. If you
I know
like
what you
any
mean.
of the,
man.
if you like any of the trends, please go ahead.
Comment below.
Yeah, comment below which
If
one
you're on a
you
platform
like.
where you can comment below. Whether you like a trend or dislike a trend.
Yeah.
We just
Or
want
if
you to
you've heard
comment.
any other trends or you thought of any other trends that we didn't talk about, let us know.
Yeah, please do. Well, thank you for tuning into this episode of I Know What You Mean. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends so we can reach as many listeners as possible.
Yes.
Ideally, at least 50, but more than that's good too. So share it a lot.
Yeah, that's it.
I know what you mean. Good night.
Why good night? Just leave it.
Because they're most likely watching at night.
Just cut it.
Just cut it.
It's done. It's over. We did it.